Hi, and welcome to Fantastic Fungi Reimagine album launching singles here. And my name is Marcina Hale.
And I'm Stephen Apcon. And we're both executive producers of Fantastic Fungi, the movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. And we are so proud to be hosting this event, live musical event and conversation with Nessi Gomes and Alexandra from Beautiful Chorus.
We're bringing in the women. Yesterday we had all the men, and now we're bringing in the women today. It's beautiful.
So tell us a little bit about this album, Mars.
Well, you know, this album was conceived with the influence that the movie had on people. And, you know, we're in this critical period of time in our world right now where so many things for people are falling apart. They're changing. And in the process of changing, it's like this idea of like letting go, but also the need to reimagine. You know, there's in one way, we're never, ever going to go back to what we ever were before. And it's always more of a process of reimagining. And when we think about reimagining, it's actually the artist in each one of us that is needed to be inspired. And so we brought together people, artists that were inspired by this film in the mycelium kingdom to be able to create an album to help people reimagine.
Absolutely. And I think we should do a big shout out right now to the director of Fantastic Fungi, a great friend of ours, Louis Schwartzberg, and to somebody who inspired the film, so much more that's going on in the world, an amazing human being, Paul Stamets.
And there's so many people that helped create this album, but a big shout out to Parmita Pushman and Amber Rubarth, who have been really working hard to get this album out into the world. And there's going to be ways that you can join in. What we're asking for is for people to work as community to make something like this happen. And in that, we created a Kickstarter that will help pay for all of the creation of the album. And so we invite you to become a part of this project, this voice, this ability to reimagine. And you'll see that there's all kinds of gifts that you'll get, or ways to participate, including getting the album. It's a 2 album CD, because we had so many beautiful musicians that were adding their gifts to it. It ended up being 2 albums. So just being there and getting that, and also the opportunity to meet with either Louis or Paul Stamets, and also to meet with our sponsors from SPORE, who helped in the Decriminalized Denver efforts.
So without further ado, let's bring on Nessi and Alexandra. Hey, welcome.
Hey.
So Alexandra, you're joining us from Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And Nessi?
I'm joining you from Guernsey, the Channel Islands.
From the Channel Islands, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So one of the things we really want to hear from you is like, what motivated you to be a part of this album and to add your voices to it?
Well, for me, Paul Stamets is one of our heroes. We met him quite a few years ago at the Florida Herbal Conference. And when I saw the film, oh my God, it's brilliant. And the entire message of the film really speaks to what we tend to sing about as Beautiful Chorus anyway, which is the interconnectedness of all things. So it's really, it's like a soul family project for us.
Beautiful. And then, Alexandra, you actually had the chance to sing Happy Birthday to Paul recently.
We did, which was our highest honor. We absolutely love him.
And that's
I resonated a lot with what Alexandra shared. I think this kind of connectedness, at least for me, that's what music is such a big part of as well. And the song that I kind of contributed to the album, it's all about feeling all related and seeing this connectedness throughout nature, through, you know, humanity. Doesn't matter what path you come from, there is that connection between all of us that makes, you know, that human connection.
It's beautiful. Isn't it interesting how at a time when we're being asked to stay separate and being disconnected, the desire for connection and the recognition of our interconnectedness is even greater.
Oh,
yeah.
I think that's a natural result of going within. Once we do go within, we do recognize that our core is all the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you work with 4 people as in your
group.
Group.
Yeah.
Group. Right. But what is it like to bring those voices together? What is it like to create that unity in the voice?
Oh my gosh. The best way I can describe it is like, it just feels like pure heaven. I'm not totally sure how to describe it other than that. The resonance of all of our voices, especially after being a group for so many years, feels like it heals us, and like we're able to help support in the healing of other people who enjoy it. And just the whole process itself is really beautiful and very honest. It's a very authentic process to blend your voice with other voices. So it's really something for us.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned it being healing, and we talked yesterday a lot about music as medicine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no question about that. And mushrooms as medicine.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that's so beautiful is that we have these 24 musicians who have contributed these amazing songs to the album. And it's all around promoting education and awareness around the healing benefits of mushrooms. Yeah. And so the proceeds are going to be used to educate and to promote that awareness. And we're really grateful for you all to participate in it. Nessi, you talk about interconnectedness, and interconnectedness weaves its way through this album in so many ways. And one of them is musically, because the track that everyone heard at the beginning of this is actually a piece of something that's on the album from none other than Merlin Sheldrake, who just wrote Entangled Life. And there's a connection between Merlin and you.
Yeah, well, I've known him for a few years, and his brother Cosmos Sheldrake as well. And Cosmo played a little bit on my debut album, which was recorded 4 years ago already. But yeah, I bumped into those guys in New Year's Eve. It was really lovely to see them. They're psychedelic people. I don't know what to say. They're like so cool.
Yeah. I think that yesterday we had Darlingside on, along with some other amazing groups, Beats Antique, Dirtwire, Sam Garrett was with us, a bunch of other people from the album. But the last song that we played, Don Mitchell did a solo version of Singularity. And it strikes me that that's a perfect bridge to All Related. And I'm wondering, would you mind playing a little of All Related for us?
I'd be honored to play a little bit of All Related. So this will be featured on the album, and obviously I'm playing it in the most like kind of raw form. But I won't play the whole thing because it takes up the whole space. I don't really have to. Tanka grande Espírito, agradeço a te amar, Wakantanka Tonka Sheila. Agradeço Pachamama, en el cielo, con los pájaros que vuelan, las horas y amor, misterio de la vida, amor, vida preciosa, amor, dame fuerza, amor, confía en el destino. I crossed over anxious spirit, lost my way, confused senses, ancient voices spill their secrets, taking footsteps with our mother, all related, broken hearted, no more darkness. With this love, we are all related in love. Give me strength in this love. We are all related in love. Give me strength in this love. We are related. We are all related. We are all related.
Wow.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. I'm always amazed at how fast, like, listening to a song can just take me into another state of mind, and how much I just want to be there. You know, and one of the things I really love about this album is that it takes you on this whole journey, different musicians and voices and spaces. And that's really beautiful. You know?
One thing,
And it is like during this period of time where there's so much division. When we hear this, it's I feel that just even that in itself is so beautiful.
one thing I love about this is introducing the musicians, the artists on the album to each other. I don't know whether you guys have ever met before.
No, not at all. It's the first time, actually.
First time. It was absolutely beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
This song, I guess, for me, is what I mentioned before about feeling all connected. Because sometimes, you know, I mean, for myself at least, you can easily go into forgetfulness and feel completely separate. And, you know, we come from different cultures, we come from different walks of life, different experiences, but we all kind of experience that, those fundamental primal things. You know, we all want to feel loved, we all want to feel safe, we all want to feel part of a community, we want to feel connected. And this song for me was all about that. And the importance of, you know, how to feel connected. And I think that's what music does as well. It builds bridges, and you know, watching the movie as well, or you know, like the whole thing about the mushrooms, is the way it's all connected. Like, I mean, it's so mind blowing. I watched it and I was in tears at the end. I was so touched. I think it's the best thing I've seen in years. Actually, I was just like, I kept. It's the first time I've caught myself going, wow, wow, wow. Like, oh, like mind blowing. You know, mind blowing. And you know, I've done a lot of kind of medicine ceremonies in the last 10 years, and to kind of, you know, that connection also to mushroom. And funnily enough, I did a mushroom ceremony some 6 years ago, and it was amazing. Like, it's you know, it's here, it's right in front of us as well. And I know it's more than that, but it's just the whole thing about mushrooms is so psychedelic and incredible. Like, I don't know, there's so much to say about it, but it just blew my mind, really. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And you know what? It's funny because last night we were on with the mycologist that was out in Utah, and we were just learning more about mushrooms. And I'm like, it's crazy to think that there's only 5 to 10% of the species are actually identified. That means we have 95 to 90% of the species of mushrooms, and we have no idea what they are. And this isn't even a movie. There's so much more mystery with them. But I think what's fun is that mystery of life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure those things will just keep expanding too. It feels exciting to know that we may only ever know 5% of it, but that the entirety of the group of mushrooms does keep expanding. So we do learn more, but then more just keeps being created on the planet. It's really beautiful.
Well, speaking of expanding mycelium and mushrooms, Alexandra, you and Beautiful Chorus have this amazing track on the album. Can you tell us a little bit about Brilliant Mycelium?
Yes. So in writing this song, we really wanted to do our best to give a voice to what mycelium might possibly 1% maybe sound like if it had its own voice. So the song for us was very much about tuning into the feeling of it and really, really connecting with it before writing any words or melodies or anything. So for us, it was a song and also a journey, honestly. Yeah.
Well, it certainly translates.
Oh, good.
And maybe, Sean, if we could hear Brilliant Mycelium now. That work, Alexandra?
Sure, yeah.
We're beneath your surface, an underground universes, thriving fully alive, sensitive, resilient, we're everywhere, we're brilliant, mycelium, we dive, go deeper, branch out, sustain life, feel your every step. We carry nutrients, sentient and nourishing, we're elegant and flourishing. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. We're beneath your surface, an underground universes, thriving fully alive, sensitive, resilient, we're everywhere, we're brilliant, mycelium, we dive, go deeper, branch out, sustain life, feel your every step. We carry nutrients, sentient and nourishing. We're elegant and flourishing. You vision, are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Have you? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. Have you vision? Are you listening? Can you feel us? Share our wisdom. 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 Can you hear us?
Amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
That was such a fun song to create, and it feels so good when we all get to sing it together. So thank you all for inspiring it.
Yeah. And I love the idea, can you hear us? You're asking the question.
Yeah.
In order to share the wisdom, we have to be willing to listen.
Yeah. That's really what it felt like when we were tuning into it. It felt like it would be conversing with us in that sort of a way.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So beautiful.
It's interesting that this whole album came about in a mycelial way. We talked about it a little bit before, but the album, the film took 13 years, and Louis Schwartzberg just stayed at it. And then, rather than releasing it in New York and LA, which is what most films do, we released it on September 20th in Denver, Colorado, and we hoped that it would be there for a few days. And 12 weeks later, it was still selling out. And this is what happened all over the world. It is that it's tapping into this longing that we have for connection.
Yeah.
And again, for the album, the desire behind it was to weave all of these voices and have everybody. It was almost like invitations didn't even need to go out because the right people showed up, to be a part of it. And I think everybody resonated with the notion of using it as a way to promote awareness around the therapeutic and medical benefits of these amazing, intelligent organisms, beings that we share this planet with. And even in creating the Kickstarter, the whole idea was to allow people to become part of that mycelial network and part of the creation of the album itself. I mean, the creation is actually the art project as well. And so we invite people at any level. It's not about how much, it's about lending your voice and lending your energy and your spirit and your heart. And speaking of lending your spirit, your energy, your heart, your magnificent voices and presence, we thank you so much, Alexandra and beautiful chorus, Nessi.
Thank you.
Amazing.
We really want to encourage. I mean, it is, beautiful chorus is a great example of what one voice is beautiful, but when we merge them together, it's so much more powerful. Especially when you hit that in training, where you're actually making each other better in the process of it, and something emerges that could not happen unless we do it collaboratively. And and that's what we did So I love that, and it's so inspiring to hear the music. And I thank you both for joining us today.
Nessi, you talked about seeing the film and being overwhelmed by it. I know, Alexandra, you too. For anybody who hasn't seen the film, you can see it here. I think Sean's going to put a card up so that everybody will know where to see it. There you go. And
it's a great one to have, to share with others, to sit down, have conversations with. It's really mind-blowing in so many ways.
Yeah.
So as we say goodbye to both of you, and thank you so much, we're going to put up one last video, which is somebody else on the album that everybody will get to meet, the wonderful Amber Rubarth. And thank you so much for all that you do, for being with us.
Thank you all.
for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Nice to meet you, Nessi.
In times like these, we have the opportunity to deepen our connection with ourselves, each other, and the natural world. A group of diverse artists has come together to create fantastic fungi, Reimagine. I'm Amber Rubarth. I'm a producer and artist on the album. After watching the documentary Fantastic Fungi, I felt called to bring artists together to collaborate with this belief that community enriches our vitality. The idea resonated. We now have a 24-track double album celebrating the intelligence of nature and our interconnectedness with the mycelial kingdom.
And it's that biodiversity that gives sustainability to the ecosystem. The mushroom mycelium represents rebirth, regeneration, rejuvenation.
We've launched a Kickstarter to cover the initial production costs, so proceeds will go to the important work of building awareness around therapeutic benefits of mushrooms. We have some incredible rewards thanks to our partners, and we need a little help getting to our goal. Thank you so much, and enjoy the music.